مساء الخير. حلقة جديدة من متيان شيريلو شو، المرة ده من كمبالا. ضيفنا الليلة جنرال فوئيبا، الجنرال وياي دينا جاكا. جنرال مرحبا بك.
Thank you. Welcome.
اوكي، قبل ما نبدأ فاصل إعلان ونرجع لكم. اوكي، ورجعنا لكم بعد الفاصل. واول سؤال من مناضل وبطل لمعارض لنظام انت كنت جزء منه، شنو خلى the first chief of staff to be a rebel؟
والله يعني when we were young we left our school and we went to the bushes of South Sudan to fight for freedom, for the liberation of the marginalized people of the Sudan. And our motto when we went to the bush was death or victory. Victory to the people. Too many of us who were young, who went to the bushes of South Sudan, death came first. They died. They died in their struggle. They died for the liberation of the people of South Sudan. And through many years of our struggle, we have been struggling and fighting for the unity of the country on different bases. Either we have a united democratic Sudan or a divided Sudan. And when we could not achieve it, and we sign the comprehensive peace agreement, we celebrated. The people of Sudan celebrated. The region celebrated, and they supported us. And now we were saying that we were going to invest, use our energy to really improve the life of the people of South Sudan, because we could not achieve the whole Sudan, but we agree to sign the comprehensive peace agreement. So we said we will have to implement this comprehensive peace agreement, and it is called comprehensive because it involves South Sudan, Abyei, South Blue Nile, and South Kordofan. Now, when we reached to Juba, we divided ourselves. The National Congress Party have managed those who were fighting us in Khartoum. They came to Juba and they took over Salva Kiir.
Okay.
The South Sudanese who were opposed to us during the struggle.
We'll come in this point later.
Yeah.
But I didn't get an answer for my direct question. يعني شنو بخلي the first chief of staff to be a rebel?
Yeah, but this is the point. To be a rebel, I did not rebel. I was arrested in my house. They investigated. They proved that there was no coup. So I did not rebel.
Okay,
It is Salva who chased me away.
طيب انت ليه برا جوبا؟
Because Salva doesn't want me in Juba.
And why?
Because I am telling him the bad thing he's doing.
Okay, يعني you're talking about Salva and you forget yourself.
I will be happy to listen from Salva what is the bad thing that I'm doing and how can I correct myself. But I'm telling Salva the bad thing he's doing to the people of South Sudan, and he don't want to correct himself.
Okay, General, يعني أنت كنت the first chief of staff.
Yes.
قروش كان فيه.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
كان موجود.
Yeah.
لكن الجيش كان تعبان.
ما كان تعبان.
أنت كنت قاعد تعمل شنو؟
يعني the budget is there, and we can look at the budget and view the budget. But let me tell you, when we signed the comprehensive peace agreement and the decree, the first decrees of John Garang came out, Salva appointed vice president of the government of South Sudan. I was appointed the chief of general staff of SPLA, of course. After the CPA, the first chief general staff. When we went and I met John Garang in Rumbek, John Garang told me, I have appointed you chief of staff of the SPLA, the new army, and of course the future army. For South Sudan or for the Sudan, depend on what the result of the referendum will be. And John Garang told me, I'm going to work with you directly, and we want to build a new army. And John Garang opened his hand like this, and John Garang said, we want to build a new army that the people of South Sudan will look at like this, like a mirror, and all of them see themselves inside there.
But
that was my mission.
But you failed to make it.
Now, yeah, I'm coming. That was my mission. Now, what we did is really to reorganize, restructure, and recompose the SPLA. Because when people went to the bushes of South Sudan fighting, people go regional block according to the nearby region. So now we'll have to mix this army again and create a really new national army. While we were doing that, there were other militia groups, those of Polynomatic, those of Balbagai, those of who you can call them, who were fighting us, and who joined us later on after the signing of the comprehensive peace agreement. So we had the SPLA, that was disorganized by then. We had the other militia group that were disorganized. We'll have to bring them. It took us time to create this national army. And we really did. We restructured the army, and we were now working how to professionalize this army. And Salva Kiir didn't want this. So the army that we reorganized, we structured.
No, يعني
Yeah, of course. Yani,
how?
Salva Kiir didn't want a national army. And Salva Kiir have destroyed SPLA. And my 4 years as the chief of staff, it was a very painful and very tough 4 years. In 4 years as the chief of staff, I was accused 5 times that I want to make a coup against Salva Kiir. And I used to sit down with him as Salva Kiir from the beginning of the movement up to now. We have been together. We have been friend and a brother and a comrade. Why do you think I will make a coup? And Salva Kiir will tell me, oh yeah, yes, I don't believe this, but the Romans are too strong. Too strong from who? And he don't tell me. So I could not succeed to build a strong national army because Salva Kiir was suspicious of me. That's why I have an agenda, where I want to make a coup. And it was these people around Salva who were doing this cartoon, where they were playing the role.
General, far away from President Salva.
Yeah.
انت فشلت في شنو؟ انت فشلت في شنو في اداره بتاعت الجيش؟
انا؟
Yeah. يعني بعيد من سلفا.
Yeah.
Far away from Salva.
Yeah.
You accuse him a lot. لكن انت, what was your vision?
My mission is what I told you.
وعملت فيه شنو؟
My mission is what I told you.
even ما بنيت ولا معسكر سائد كبير بتاع الجيش.
كيف؟ يعني لو في
the headquarter ما بنيته.
كيف يا اخي؟
كله كان برفانات.
No.
وكان ده قروش.
يعني this is why I said before, look at the budget of SPLA and look at what we did. And in the SPLA general headquarters, we were supported by the American to build that general headquarters. We opened a training center in Winkable. We opened a training center in Mapel. We opened in Bantu. We opened all the combined training centers. We bought a lot of equipment for SPLA. New weapon, new vehicle, bigger military truck we bought, and the records are there. We bought tanks. We are the first country in Africa to buy T-72, which is now T-90. If you look at there, we are the first in Africa to buy this. And we bought this intentionally to show Khartoum that if you don't respect and implement the comprehensive peace agreement, you will see us differently. So we did a lot. We bought helicopters. During my time, if you go to record in SPLA today, you will find that the 4 years I spent as the chief of staff, we have done the best. After I left the army, up to now is zero. They destroyed. And go and look at the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
You buy a lot of equipment,
yes,
helicopter.
Yes, yeah. Because we were still fighting with Khartoum.
Okay, for the army.
Yeah.
So without Salva Kiir, they would have time like that.
Of course. If I was Andrew John Grant, we could have done the best, even more better than this.
No, I say you talk. It can't be using an achievement.
Yeah.
وقلت إنه سلفا كير ما دعمك. طيب ما يدعمك كيف وأنت شريت حياة ده؟ طيب if he don't like to support you.
Yeah, but الدعم.
إنت قلت هتشيل حياة ده؟
صح. أجادل أننا بيوناو. أجادل أننا أخذناه. We try to create a real new national army. While I was building this national army, Salva Kiir was building the private army. So you cannot have a national army if the president is afraid of this army. So
okay.
It could not.
And Lema, why you didn't resign?
Of course, how many times? Oh, you can go and ask my colleagues in Juba. You go and ask, for example, Salva Matog unfortunately God has taken his life, but you have Biraswat who is there. You have Biaratem who is there. You have General Piang who is there. You have General James Os is there. You can go and ask them. There are many times we have been in a meeting and I said in front of Salva, I don't want to work under you. Come on, I better resign. Go and stay home because this is not the army or the security sector which we want to build. Right now, and we disagree with Salva many times. Until finally, Salva agreed and Salva said, I am going to appoint you minister. I refused. I said, no, I don't want to be a minister. I better go and do my thing, or I go back to my school, do my study, whatever. I go and do my farming. Salva refused.
At the end, you become a minister.
Of course, by presidential decree. And you go and ask this to Deng Alor and Yasser Arman. I had discussions with them, and Deng is still alive. I told them I don't want to be a minister at all. And Deng and Yasser, they spent the whole night convincing me. When the decree came out, Oya is appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs, I refused. My colleagues, Piang came to me, and my colleagues were begging me that, Oya, please, it will look as if you don't respect Salva, Wanina Fi Arka, or Shundakulu, please accept this position. I accepted it based on respect to SPLM.
Okay, they can regional cooperation.
Yes, regional cooperation.
Investment.
Investment that is investment work that
Ministry of
National Security. Investment,
so,
the same thing.
It is all شايف إنه he's not supporting you.
Yeah.
ليه بتشتغل معه 4 مرات؟
But that is why I said finally, because of this issue with the unity of SPLM, they are جبرني بس عشان اشتغل مع Salva Kiir.
No, ما unity
when I was appointed, Minister of Investment, there was no Minister of Investment working there. That position was created to accommodate me. And also, the same colleagues of mine, they came to me, please, take over this position. Now, what do I do? Please, you take it. I accept it. 1 year, I was relieved. Then, by the referendum, Salva, according to the Shad, Salva wanted to appoint me Minister of Defense. He changed his mind, appointed me Minister of National Security. The same people They ran to Salva وقال له يا أخي كده look at Salva. يعني وخلى وياه إنه instead of يكون Minister of Defense يكون في National Security ده أكتر مهل ذاته. مهروز وياه ما يكون هنا.
طيب جنرال يعني أنت عشان يكون في يونيتي بتاع SPLM اللي تكون وزير؟
أبدا. يعني أنا
طيب
أنا لا لكن كل الزملاء بتاعي يعني what do you do؟ لو الزملاء بتاعك قال لي يا أخي please don't create a rift between you مع سالفا. لو سالفا اداك تعليم مالين ويا انا دايرك في مال ده بليز امشي اشتغل فوق. هو انا out of respect لسالفا كير انا اتفقت وقابلت وشلت محلات ديل كله وانا اشتغلت فوق.
اوكي طيب if your colleague اللي قاعد يتكلم عنهم ديل اذا جو قال لك ترجع جوبا for the unity of the SPLM ترجع؟
No work it down يعني I have tried. يعني وقت ده كله but I have now realized إن سالفا is unteachable.
now لو هم جوك نفس الكوليك دي لو جوك تاني بلاك ترجع جوبا أبدا عشان يندي بتاع SPLM ترجع؟
أنا ما بقبل تاني. إنما أنا قلت يوم داك يعني 4 years ago there was one of your colleagues who interviewed me and I told them that's look we have signed the Addis Ababa agreement the whatever the which we signed in 2015. I was ready to go to Juba, but I told my colleague who was in the FD that I will go to Juba as a normal citizen, and I'm not going to work again with Salva Kiir. When they signed the Khartoum agreement, I also say the same thing, which I will still say it now. If Salva is ready to really hold South Sudan like this as a nation, then I'm ready to go to Juba and do my private thing, my projects. But I will not go to Juba the way Juba is now, and I keep quiet. I will not. I will not. Because this is not the country we have liberated. Our people have lived under the British.
Okay, General.
The colonial system.
يعني أنت برا ولا جوبا.
Yeah.
So في شنو حصل يعني؟ جوبا ماشي الرئيس قاعد بمشي يومي مكتبه بيستلم تقارير بزور ولايات شغال طرق قاعد يبني في مشاريع جديدة وانت قاعد برا.
يعني انا بشوف انه
انت قاعد تعمل شنو يعني هسه يعني شنو يعني what is your impact?
You know let me tell you this. انا كان داير نقول لك قبل وانا لسه بقول لك. During the colonial system our people South Sudanese have never lived like this. During the Arab with their Islamic thinking and mind, which we fought, South Sudanese have not lived like this. South Sudanese, right now, as I talk to you, they are living in 4 categories. 4 categories. Category number 1 are the refugees and the diaspora from all over South Sudan. In the more than 4 million South Sudanese في شمال السودان وبناس باقين جاهرين بعد الشكل الأسل في خرطوم ده. And some of them are there, desperate. They just given up their life. That it is better we die in the north than to go back to the south. So you have refugees, South Sudan refugees in the Sudan, in Eritrea, in Ethiopia, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Congo, in Central Africa. كل دول الجوهر ده كله. شعب بتاعنا قاعدين فوق. So refugees and diaspora, one category. The second category, the South Sudanese. These are the people in Equatoria who left their farmland. They've been chased away and they are living up on the mountain. South Sudanese, chased away from their homeland. In Upper Nile and Barghazal, let me finish. May you ask me a question? In Upper Nile and Barghazal, our people have run away and they are living in the swamp, in the sat. You have the water, hyzon, you live on it, and they are surviving on fish and water lily for the last 10 years. This is category number 2. Category number 3 are the internal displaced person camp in kullu mudun bita junub, including fi Juba itu jai fogo. 2 camp inside Juba, few the children of our fallen heroes and SPLA officers who fought Yamadak, Umanasa Yofi Masquerade, internal displaced camp in Juba. That first category, South Sudanese have just given up life and they are living under something called unknown gunmen. So where is South Sudan? Is Bakalmanuda.
Okay.
Did we fought for this? Mafi. Mafi. And let me tell you, our Umbarada, one of the wife of my colleague who died under my command, called me from Juba, and there are many of them. Can you send me money? Can you imagine? From Juba. Because his child has broken his leg, and he want money, Jan Adumde, wala Hajar El Katu, and he was a senior SPLA officer. Okay. So our people are suffering. The people in the internal displaced camp are the people who liberate this country. Okay. The children in the internal displaced camp are the children of our fallen heroes. And Salva Kiir called himself, he's the chairman. That share doesn't belong to Salva. It belongs to the people of South Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Babe, we go for a short break and then we can come back again.
Okay.
اوكي رجعنا لكم بعد الفاصل ولسه مستمرين حوارنا مع جنرال ويا ايدين اجاك. طيب جنرال يعني انت يعني how are you going to arrest President Salva?
To
يعني انت قلت عشان هنا يتم اعتقال سلفا to arrest him.
يعني
to be arrested.
يعني
how?
I would love if Salva commit himself to implement all the agreement he signed. I have no problem. You know, but the situation we are in, you know, Uncle Abel Alier, Kitab, many years ago, 80s. And he said there are too many agreements dishonored. So many agreements have been signed and they are not respected. They have been dishonored. This is the same thing that we have now for Geneva, Sudan. So many agreements have been signed with Salva. Salva don't respect them. So it is either Salva resign and ask for forgiveness, and hand over, or South Sudanese will one day take up their arm, because they are telling the people that nobody is allowed to go on the street and make any demonstration. They say they have no rubber bullets. You go on the road, they will shoot you. So this is a clear warning. So people cannot talk. You cannot make any, there is no freedom of expression. There is no any demonstration. The only option left to South Sudanese is to fight with Salva. So no matter how it will take, Mobutu Sese Seko was fought and was chased away. Idi Amin was fought and was chased away. Rwanda, they are now fast growing country in Africa here. They have to fight and they have to chase away.
Okay,
and this is the same thing that will take place in South Sudan. Very soon, South Sudanese will wake up, and since Salva don't want them to talk with their mouths, they will take their arm. So I'm ready to go back to Juba, but I'll go back to Juba with Michael Anshikov. Yes.
So you still believe in violence?
Not believing in violence. But why did we take up arms in the first place in 1980s? It is because Khartoum refused to talk. Our grandfather, our fathers, they've been talking with Khartoum. You have something called Juba Conference. You have the Addis Ababa Agreement. Too many agreements dishonored. That's why we in the SPLA, we took up arms and we pressured Khartoum to sign an agreement with us. This is the same thing that South Sudanese will need to do now to liberate themselves. You do not have something called national security. You do not have a national army. You do not have a national security. You do not have a national police. All the security sector, their allegiance is not to a country called South Sudan. It's to a person called Salva Kiir. So that is not a country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And General, are you following what happened in South Sudan?
There is nothing happening in South Sudan.
Okay.
The only thing which is happening in South Sudan is killing people.
No, there is demonstration حصل في واو.
Yeah.
اوكي.
Yeah.
طلبة عملوا مظاهرة.
Yeah.
في واو. أساتذة في رومبيك
Yeah.
عملوا مظاهرة.
Yeah.
في أويل
Yeah.
عملوا مظاهرة.
Yeah.
في ملكال
Yeah.
حصل مظاهرة. أساتذة
Yeah.
طلاب دكاترة في جوبا عملوا إضراب.
Where can there is drop
وما في زول
because no.
لا حاجات ده كله حصل.
كل حاجات صغار كانوا من دايرين عشان يكون خبير للعلاج اللي بقدر يطلع سلفا كير برا سلفا بضربهم بطلقه.
ما هسه
is there any serious demonstration which is taking place in Juba؟ ما حصل وما هيحصل لأنه سلفا بدقوا بطلقه.
طيب تكلم عن انه هتشيل سلاح. وين الجيش بتاعك؟
الجيش بتاعي في جنوب السودان. زملاء بتاعي جيش الشعبي كل ما يوم أنا في اتصال معهم. جيش الشعبي الحرر الجنوب ده I'm in communication and in contact with them. And one day when I move on the ground and I declare, you will see من كل قبائل من جنوب السودان ده كله I am going to mobilize thousands and thousands of SPLA soldiers and we will move to Juba.
Okay.
With our Kalashnikov.
When
the second liberation of South Sudan.
When are you going to declare
very
that?
Soon.
200.
Very soon.
سنة ده سنة جاية.
And of course, very soon.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how long it will take, but we know, when we am confident, we are going to liberate this country. And I said, Yomadak, the second liberation of South Sudan is going to take place very, very soon.
General,
that country will need to be liberated again.
أنت لسه عايش في ماضي؟
ما في أنا عايش في أنا بعين في مستقبل بتاع السودان في المستقبل بتاع الجنوب. الماضي ده فات ما ماضي أننا مرينا فوقه. أنا هسه يعني من أنا دمرت في SPLA do you know how long؟ من البداية 40 سنة هسه.
No, يعني أنت.
of course أنا داير أقول لك 40 سنة أنا علمته حاجات كتير.
And do you think إنه ممكن لو أنت هسه أنت تمرد ناس ممكن thousands will join you?
Yes. And they are talking with me already. أوريني حاجة كويس.
Okay.
في جنوب
السلفة أنت قلت إنه جيش شعبي قاعد and they will join you.
Yes.
نزلوا أمورهم كم سنة؟
أنت عمر مختار وقت شاكل في ليبيا. أمين في ألجيريا. أنت عمره كان كم؟
ما عمر was a leader. لكن الناس شاكلوا معه.
No. ما في حاجة اسمه leader في liberation movement. You know when we joined the struggle. Do you know يعني أنكل والدي عمره كان كم وقت ضم لي SPLA ناس اللي جملوك ناس منو ده كل الماد عمر باقين كان 60 كان 70 سنة. فحاجة يجي اسمه عمر في تحرير ده ما في.
لكن شاركوا في معارك.
Of course كيف يعني كيف. Walding have been commanding and fighting.
Yes.
Uncle Elijah Yomdak, Uncle Shigai, Uncle
commanding is different than
Joseph Bolmadut, all of them. They were all the Homer, and they were fighting. Yes. Liberation Day has no age limit.
Okay. طيب انت لو اعلنت وناس ما if the 1000 didn't come and join you شنو هتعملوا؟
They will join me, and if they don't join me, I will fight my way. And I will go to Juba.
Okay.
Yeah. If I die, I will die on the way to Juba. Just like John Garang died on the way going to Juba for liberation of South Sudan. When my colleagues here, the Rwandese, were fighting, one of my friends, Fred Rojima, I have now a photo with me. He died on the way to Kigali. But the new leader, like Paul Kagame, who was with him, took over, and you now have Rwanda, which is a very fraud country in Africa today. So South Sudan will have to be liberated.
موضوع بتاعك مع سلفا بقى بيرسونال؟
ابدا ما انا قلت لك قبل من البدايه بتاع اركا انا اول زول انا قابلته قبل ما انا قابل مع جون جرانج ده كان سلفا كير. And from then we have been together. وكننا ماشيين كورس. I want to go to this training, political school. أول cause بتاعنا في SPLA Salva Kiir took me وقال لي لا أمشي لcause بتاع استخبارات. I said no, I don't want to work in intelligent يوم ده أنا شفت تهدي النميري أنا ما داير نشتغل في استخبارات تاني. Salva قال لي no, this is a different intelligence. I went there. لغاية ما خرجونا. I work with Salva very close like this. I have no personal problem with him. شوف أنا وكيل زوجته مرة بتاعي. Salva is one of the colleagues who contribute the best cow in my wedding, in my marriage. And Kuala Lumpur was my father. When they went for negotiation for my marriage, I was going to the front. And my father-in-law, Lagatilan, who are high, Fijuba, Satu Kwes, if you ask him, he told me then, I didn't know your relation myself. Lakin endena, fi dinka. Zol al-jablek, bagar zayda fil zuwaj bita, this is your real brother. So ana der nagulek, min badaya bita arka. Lagari yomalela, ma indi mashkila myself. Wakid nina forget me John Garang. أنا كلمت مع سالفة أنا في رومبيك سالفة في نيروبي قول له ده يا كلام الأصل يعني نمشي لنيو سايد نشوف يعني what happened to John Garang. We came to new side in the morning and in the evening we confirmed John Garang توفى helicopter go. I was in new side. I called Salva Kiir. I broke the news to him till Misa and I told him tell Bashir, tell Museveni, wana hini mama Rebecca, tell mama Rebecca. This is a long story. But the following morning, قبل ما نمشي نشيل البودي بتاع جون جرانغ في نيو كوش, I sent a message to whole unit بتاع SPLA. صباح. That's all unit and message ده لغاية الآن موجود. And I told كل جيش الشعب إنه نينا فقدنا chairman بتاعنا جون جرانغ. أتسبب الأقدمية بتاع SPLA. We will now give the same support that we used to give to John Garang. We'll give it to Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir, the next senior person, will support him. This Sabah, Badiri. Then we went to New Kush. We brought the body of John Garang. Lagar fi Misa, leadership council gado. But then it was confirmed. Now that's a bagul go. Kol menyang yom dag yo fi new side propose Salva. De kulu kedip. Sah kol menyang propose. Like in the morning, my message to whole unit bita SPLA, Salva Kiir is our leader. And we have given the same support we used to give to John Garang, an open-end support like this to Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir them are good leg yani.
Okay.
John Garang Yamda were flying, Wukullu, Kutar, Bita SPLM bargain, 5 ton on a snake, John Garang was flying with them. And John Garang took us very high command. Some of them up to now, they are unproductive. I don't have a personal problem with him. I respect him as a human being, as a friend, as a brother, but as a leader, he has failed. He has failed the people of South Sudan. I'm telling you, in Juba, next to the J1, you have South Sudanese, the children of our fallen heroes. For 10 years now, 11 years. And Salva got for J1. Why can he not unite them? What can I go and do in Juba as a person if Salva cannot unite the people who are there in Juba with him? What can I do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yani, you can go and unite also the people.
Yeah. No, but if I go to Juba, I will have a choice. Do I go and stay in the internal displaced person camp? What do I go and do in Juba? Because the people in the internal displaced camp, the kullu asakar bita SPLA. Dubad yom dagal kanu bishakal fi SPLA. Nusawin bita shuada bitana. Yal bita shuada bitana. These are the people now who are in the internal displaced camp. So either I go to Juba to stay with them in the internal camp, or I stay as a refugees in Uganda or anywhere in East Africa here. There is no way I can go and enjoy my life, stay with Salva Kiir, while al-jahal bitana, shab bitana, قاعدين لافين ساكن. There is no South Sudan.
نفس الشعب بتاعك ده انت كنت شايفه stuff.
Yeah.
And you didn't build ولا إشلاك for them.
You go and look back into SPLA for them, and you will be shocked. When I was the chief of staff, we were beginning, and my time in SPLA was 4 years, and 4 years we were having a big threat, the National Congress Party in Khartoum, which was our enemy. Will the people of South Sudan be allowed to go and conduct the referendum freely or not. For us to be respected, I'm just repeating what I told you before, is to build a very, very strong army to intimidate and to threaten Khartoum. This is the comprehensive peace agreement. Let the people of South Sudan go and conduct the referendum, or otherwise we will fight you. And if we fight you this time, we are going to fight you with a new weapon, with a new equipment, with a different army. And this is what I did, by the way. So we have organized a committee, that we have a budget for the fallen heroes, and that account was open. They just used this money recently. You go and ask Kwal Manyang when he took over as the Minister of Defense. You go and look at the organization, at the structure of SPLA. We had the budget for the army, and the army, we are paying them, we have been paying them. There was no one day when I was the chief of staff that a month is gone without SPLA receiving its salary. Everybody, no complaint. We used to give them their salary. We used to have their uniform, military equipment. They have their food. They have their ammunition weapon. They were doing regular training. We really have done a professional army. When I left the chief of staff, they have destroyed that army. And now they want to put the blame that, oh yeah, I didn't do this. No. There is no SPLA today who will claim that, or even all the chief of staff that say, follow me. There is nobody who have done best or better than me when I was the chief of staff. Even Salva himself will tell you this.
Into group. Now into fi Kambala.
Yeah.
وبقي في جوبا.
Yeah.
ليه قسمتوا نفسكم كده؟
It's the cheap politics. And when we were in Juba, SPLM, we have been discussing the crisis and the problem was in SPLM leadership, and how do we solve it, and how do we organize to go for the election. Most of us, we agree. And then, when Salva Kiir created this problem, he arrested some of us, and he left out some of us. He divided us.
Some like who?
And some like Nial, you interviewed him a few days ago. He was with us. And all the meeting we did in Juba, in my house, in the house of Riek Machar, in the house of Mama Rebecca, Denga Lor, or the house of Cirino, Nial used to be with us. Nial, Paul Mayomakech, Denga Torbi, Ukulu. You can count many of them. Kuna sawa.
You just mentioned 3 Tani muno.
Kullu dubat I can count them in millions. Most of SPLM. Kullu. We were a group. All of us, we used to say. And we said, okay, let's sit down. We went to Salva. We had a very good meeting. Mara, Ana, Madud Biar, Paul Mayom, Denga Torbe, Taban Dengai. We went to Salva and we discussed with Salva. Fijuba, Gabal Jota Betaju, Damayasal. 1 week or 2 weeks. Ogona le Salva ita, Jota Fida Kulu, Agot. Ma Zumla Bitagal Derin Yagip Pintagabat. You call Riak, meet with Riak alone. Call Pagan, which was Pagan. Call Jimmy Zwani, meet with him alone. Call Mama Rebecca. After you sit, you call the meeting of the political bureau. You discuss what are the crises within the movement, how are we going to conduct the SPLM convention, how are we going to the election. Instead of Salva Kiir Yanadi Zumla Del, Yanadi meeting with a political bureau, Salva Kiir went and called for a meeting of the Liberation Council. Ujahinak Shabab Sogari emotionally. Oh, Tayarichiro Banyo Shundukulu, Ajat Katiria.
Teda Tabinjiu lakin Shinu Dorer kan bita Atorbe Unial Paul Mayom. Kulkutufi.
Woman can kuna so. And I am surprised. Why am I, Denga Lord John Luke Pagan, why are we arrested? Leuman Khala Nial, Leuman Khala Denga Torbe, Leuman Khala Paul Mayom, Le message. You go and ask them when you go back to Juba. In all the meeting, they were with us. Kana we yamda gana go to Kalamde fil mahkama. Okay, the name Shaluna fil mahkama, I asked in the court, why are these people left? Why were they not arrested with us?
Okay.
Yeah.
انت شايف شنو السبب؟
I don't know.
طيب في the last interview مع نيال دين
Yeah.
قال انه يس وكان معاكم لكن انتوا اختلف معاكم في the way.
What way?
ما انتوا اخترتوا انه تتمردوا.
ما في تمرد. ما أصل ده كذب. وانا يعني ممكن نراجع نفسي. نيال is my colleagues, my brother, my friend. We have been together in the movement. لو نيال قال الكلام ده وكذب ما أصل. وانا ممكن نعلف بحياته. We did not plan for a coup.
آخر سؤالين. The king of Sholo
Yeah.
عمل نداء إنه تقبلوا السلام وترجعوا.
Yeah.
ردك شنو؟ الكلام بتاع الكينج.
That is what the king does. That is the king is for unity. The king is for peace. The king is for control and management of the people. So I very much appreciate this statement. But there are conditions, like I said before, that will make me to feel happy and to go back to Juba. All those conditions that will make me proud citizen of South Sudan are not there. So yes, the king appealed, and the king actually, by the way, the king called me on the phone and told me, that يا ولد أختي, please, وقت فات شكل فات ويزول إنتو شنو برنامج أجاد كتير وقال لي إنت أرجع جوا you come and talk and do your thing from inside. I told him yes. Let me think about it. Whether I will come or not come. I'm not deceiving him, but I practically, I do not agree with Salva Kiir. I do not agree with Salva Kiir because Salva had to change. Salva had to show himself that he really belongs to the people. That he is with the South Sudanese people. So there is no way I'll go to Juba today and leave millions of South Sudanese refugees in northern Uganda. What did I do? The Riyak is in Juba. Changsan is in Juba. Those who signed the Khartoum agreement, they went to Juba. Up to today, nothing. The only thing that they have implemented, they have created, exaggerated the parliament, big number, the parliamentarian. They have appointed the 5 vice president. They have appointed the cabinet. These are the only 3 things which have been done. Apart from that, nothing else.
طيب
Nothing else.
هل معناته أنت رفضت الدعوة بتاع الكينج؟
Yeah. يعني أنا صح أنا وريت له إنه أنا ما جاهز. أنا وريت له أنا he's my uncle. I respect him and everybody should respect him. And you cannot refuse whatever the king told you. But the king talked to me, yes. If the king is calling me to go to Peshawar, I will go.
جنرال الموضوع بتاع إنه التغلق في جوبا ده عمل لك تروما؟
أبدا. وأنا يعني مستعد ممكن نمشي جوبا وسجنوني تاني. ما مانديلا قعد كم سنة في سجن في South Africa 27 سنة. And look what Mandela have done after he was released. So it is a mental issue. I can go back to Juba if I want to go. I stay under arrest. Yes, I can go back to Juba and let Salva arrest me and stay in jail. Or I stay outside and let Salva Kiir do his own thing there. But I cannot go to Juba. I'm telling you, go to Juba and stay in Juba. And I see my soldiers, former officers and soldiers with the SPLA staying in the internal displaced camp. I will not. I will not see the children of our fallen heroes staying in the internal displaced camp. I will not keep quiet. I will talk. And I will say the reason why they are staying there. Why are we not providing security to our people? Where is this thing called a nation? We have to define a nation. By the way, Nina Junubi, we need to sit down one day and find a nation. Mahua Yomdak, Salva have created this thing called the National Dialogue. With in Juba. What is the recommendation of National Dialogue? The recommendation of National Dialogue is Salva has failed. Let Salva step down. With Riyak, did Salva implement it? Is it me who told the National Dialogue? No. It is the people, the nation, South Sudanese. They dialogue, they discuss, and they ask Salva Kiir to step down. So this thing should not be seen as me. It is South Sudanese now who have spoken. That Salva has failed. Let Salva step down. Let the people create an interim president who will lead the interim period, and the people go for election, and then we will have a leader who will be told, do this, do that, or this is our policy, this is our program, do it and don't do it. Salva refused the talking of the people, the dialogue of the South Sudanese, and he is imposing himself on that chair with the gun for many years now. So where is this country? I'm going to Juba with my Kalashnikov, whether this year or next year.
طيب آخر سؤال يا جنرال، إذا لقيتك في جوبا
لو أنا جيت في جوبا
في جوبا والرئيس سلفا هو لسه الرئيس شنو ممكن نقول لك في الوقت ده؟
Well, I don't know what he will say to me, but I will tell him exactly what I am telling you now. And if you ask...
أنا لو لقيتك في جوبا وسلفا لسه الرئيس شنو ممكن أقول لك؟
لا لو سلفا غير ما أنا قبل قلت لك يعني لو سلفا غير الليلة يعني you implement the Khartoum agreement or the Addis Ababa agreement, you have a national, everything national, I have no problem going to Juba. كل سلفا لو جنوبين دايرين يكون رئيس كل يكون رئيس, but let him implement the policy بتاع جنوب. You know, we have a national security sector which is national. We have all the institutions which are really working for the people of South Sudan. Salva want to be president for life, I have no problem with him, but let him do the national program. I will go to my place, I will sit, I will do my family. And psychologically, I can go to Juba, and I know if I go to Juba, my colleagues, my former comrade, and even the other relative, and even those Junubin, they will still come to me. And when they ask me or they talk to me against Salva Kiir, I will emotionally take it negatively, and I will talk. Yeah, and Salva will arrest me again. So I don't want to go to Juba, arrest and release and arrest and release and whatever. Okay. So I feel here I'm safe, I'm free, and whatever little contribution I can do in South Sudan, I will do it. Whether I talk or whether I communicate, whatever. When the time comes for me to go to Juba, I will go.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I went to Juba. Zaman, we went to Juba with our Kalashnikov. Okay. So we will go back to Juba with our Kalashnikov.
Okay.
Yes, and we are looking for Kalashnikov.
Okay.
Yes. So go and tell this to Salva. That's General Oya, he say he's coming to Juba with his Kalashnikov.
Okay.
Yes.
شكرا جنرال.
Thank you.
بكده كنا خلصنا حوارنا ونلقاكم في حلقة جديدة مع ضيف آخر.